Go.
Hi everyone, we are Anaya, Krishi and Devna from Year 12, studying at the British School, New Delhi. Our project, Environmental Consulting at TBS, shows the ways in which the students and teachers at TBS have worked as a team in an effort to encourage and implement sustainable, eco-friendly practices in our school.
Next slide, please. Okay, so we understand that green buildings are one of the most effective ways to achieve a range of global goals, including climate change and creating sustainable and thriving communities. So green buildings can not only reduce or eliminate negative impacts on the environment by using things like less water, energy, or natural resources, but they in many cases have a positive impact on the environment at the building or city scales by generating their own energy or increasing biodiversity. Taking this into account, we are going to be talking about something that students and school community at TBS proposed, which is the 7 sustainable practices or our sustainability revamp. So as you can see, these are pictures of the school before. The building was not as sustainable as you would have wanted it. So when we decided to rebuild the new building, we realized that we needed to take these things into account. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the steps. One is site selection and planning. The second is installation of energy efficient green envelope, which we'll talk about as well. The integration of daylighting and artificial lighting, solar panels, sustainable student-led clubs, the implementation of green spaces and social media. We'd also like to stress upon the fact that we all thought this is a school community and thus they've been implemented now. We will be taking pictures and showing you in the PPT as well. Next slide, please.
Great. So the first point is site selection and planning. The school is located at Dr. Jose P. Rizal Marg in Chanakyapuri, New Delhi, and has an approved master plan which has approvals from both local and state level bodies and has also ensured that sufficient care is taken to meet all the environmental norms. The site has existing mature trees, all of which are preserved, in addition to 292 new trees which are being planted on site, fulfilling the plantation in 1:4 ratio in the school. Secondly, we have the installation of energy efficient green envelopes. The walls of the buildings have double AC block with air cavity. The roof is covered with light tiles and double glazed units, which have been used as glass for windows. The glass installed at TBS has the CHGC, which is a solar heat gain coefficient of around 0.54 and visible light transmission of 73%. The solar heat gain coefficient value is a fraction of solar radiation admitted through the window, door, or skylight. The lower this value, the lower heat it transmits. The glass CHGC value at TBS is compliant with energy conservation building codes, and the visible light transmission of the glass, as mentioned, is 73%.
Okay, so integration of daylight and artificial lighting. TBS has installed highly efficient LED fixtures and is in the process of phasing out old fixtures with LED lighting in the future. Artificial lighting levels, the lux level, have been measured and is found to become compliant with visual comfort standards as per National Building Code. Solar panels. The roof of the school has solar panels as another measure to minimize artificial energy consumption and use the natural environment to our advantage rather than causing harm to it. Next slide.
So, because we thought of these many ideas, we thought that as students, we needed to come up with sustainability student led clubs, which basically taught new students and younger students how to save the environment and focus on energy efficiency and sustainability as a whole. So, we basically teach them about, managing electricity and also implementing these things at home as well. We have a lot of clubs that have been going on for a few years now. We do tree plantations and a lot of that as well. Next slide, please. Another thing we really focused on was implementation of green spaces. So in the old building, we did have a few green spaces, but because the building had expanded and so had the student population, we decided that we needed to have more green spaces with more trees, etc., like that was mentioned in the site planning. Also, for areas where there would be a lot of need for fertilizer and other pesticides, we thought we'd implement the use of astroturf, like on our field. Next slide, please. And a key factor and the main driving factor for this project was social media. So social media has played a huge role in getting our point across, especially during the COVID times. The only thing we really could use was social media and online methods. So we encourage students to work more sustainably and live more sustainably using social media as well. And we come up with different concepts like Sustainable September and investing in the earth in May. like based on different months. So these are the ideas we've thought of, and all of them have really benefited us and benefited the school. And we hope that other schools implement this as well because it is really important. Next slide, please.
The change in the infrastructure of TBS was the result of a combined effort of the students, parents, as well as teachers of the school, and the dedication towards implementing these sustainable practices that were suggested. In conclusion, we would like to reiterate the fact that as an individual or as a community, every little step taken towards improving our environment counts. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you.